Rajendra Prasad, for making me a part of your IC, and basically no financial disclosures to disclose.
Basically, the peripheral split of the anterior capsule after the first.
वॉइस नहीं चाहिए, वॉइस म्यूट कर दो वहाँ से.
Puncture. It resembles the Argentinian flag and is usually seen in
कंट्रोल मैं करूँगा. स्टार्ट. वीडियो का कंट्रोल मैं करूँगा. नहीं आ रहा, टाइमलाइन नहीं आ रही. हाँ. कहाँ से फुल सिंक करना है, क्या कर रहे हो? कंट्रोल उसको क्यों करने को बोल. भाई आके थोड़ा सेट कर दे पहले. मैं मेरा अपने आप कर लूँगा, तुम वहाँ से कुछ मत करो.
नहीं नहीं मैं बस कुछ नहीं.
Sorry for the glitch. So the term Argentinian flag sign was coined by Daniel Peron. Now, what is this Argentinian flag sign? It's basically a split of the anterior capsule, a strained anterior capsule after the first initial puncture in mature intumescent cataract. So this is a case of mature intumescent cataract. I've strained the anterior capsule, which is a very important step in dealing with mature intumescent cataracts, because staining of the capsule helps us in losing the elasticity of the capsule and makes the anterior capsule a bit brittle. So when you are doing the rhexis, it gives more control. Now, every step of your phaco surgery is very important. You can see in this, after making the clear corneal incision, I've given a small nick and I'm trying to make a flap. I'm trying to raise the flap so that I can continue my rhexis. And this is very important. You have to be very slow. The flap was raised, but the intra-anterior pressure was so high. I thought I'd aspirate it, but what happened? I landed up in something called like an Argentinian flag sign. The whole rhexis extended. But whenever you have this, you are not supposed to panic. You have to reform the anterior chamber. Reforming the anterior chamber is very important. You should not overfill the anterior chamber. The anterior should just be flat. And whatever the horizontal sharp edges are there, you should convert them to a semicircular ones. So to do that, you need these basic instruments into your OR. One is, we all are used to the capsulotomy needle, but what is more important is the microrhexis and the microvannas forceps, which are very important in dealing these complex situations. So when you have this microrhexis or microvannas, you give a small nick with the microvannas and convert this sharp horizontal edges into the semicircular one, and you make sure that your flaps are of desired size and shape, because you should have a adequate overlap over the optic of the IOL. You saw that the superior flap which was there, it was too anterior, so I refashioned it, and so that I get enough adequate exposure over the optic of the IOL. Now when you are dealing with these intumescent cataracts, you have to make sure that you don't have sudden shallowing of the anterior chamber. You don't overhydro it whenever the Argentine flag sign is occurred. You can do a phacoemulsification. A slow motion phacoemulsification is the technique of choice which is being prescribed and which everyone should follow. My preferred technique is a stop technique, or if the cataract is too soft, I flip it into the anterior chamber and do a supracapsular phaco. So all your maneuvers, you have to be very careful that the jet of the phaco sleeve should not be hitting at the place where the rhexis has extended or the Argentine flag sign has occurred. This is a very important thing, because if the jet falls on this extended part, the rhexis gets extended and goes into a PCR, and you might have it lit up in a nucleus drop. Again, while taking out the last piece, it is very important that you lower all your parameters. So the best thing to advocate when you're dealing with this type of cataract is to do a slow motion phacoemulsification. Again, when you are doing the cortex wash with the bimanual, you have to be very careful that the irrigating jet of the irrigation cannula should not be falling over the tone part of the anterior capsule, and you have to be very gentle. Now this was a Acrus IOL. It's a very thin. It is four haptic. It has a 4-point fixation with the 4 haptics. and it's so thin that you don't have to worry about drastic maneuvers. You just pull the lens and fit it into the bag, and you can see that the once I've injected the IOL and put it in the capsular bag, there's a nice overlap of the anterior capsule over the optic of the IOL. So even if your rexis had you had an Argentinian flag sign, but you have converted those horizontal sharp edges into a semicircular one, and you are getting a good opposition over the optic. Sometimes what happens is the Argentine flag sign occurs and you don't have any other choice, and you will end up in converting into a can opener capsulotomy. But mind you, whenever you are converting into a can opener capsulotomy, going ahead with the phaco is a big no. You are never supposed to do phaco when you converted the capsule into a can opener capsulotomy, rexis into a can opener capsulotomy. Always do a manual small incision cataract surgery. Now this is a ferocious looking white cataract. It's a mature intumescent cataract. I started the rexis with the forceps, but what has happened? Because of the visco escape, the AC was becoming shallow. I didn't pay attention to that, and the rexis was trying to extend. So I stopped there, refill the anterior chamber with visco. Now in all these cases, you need to use sodium hyaluronate. Sodium hyaluronate is a cohesive viscoelastic substance, and that helps us to maintain the anterior chamber. So give a nick at the other end with the help of a rexis, with the help of a Vanna's forceps, and then continue the rexis on the other side. Now, how do we avoid this Argentinian flag sign? This is very important, and we all are trying our best to make sure that whenever we are dealing with this type of cataracts, we don't land up with Argentinian flag sign. So this was a case of Megan intumescent cataract, a small nick initially given, whatever fluid came out, escaped, was aspirated, and then we started with the rexis. You have to be very slow when you are doing the rexis in these type of cataracts. You are not supposed to have large tears, you are supposed to have small tears, I mean to say every clock hours. The key to doing the rexis is first to decompress the intraanterior pressure, and for that there are two various techniques. Either you can aspirate with the help of earlier I used to use a 26 gauge needle on a 2cc syringe and aspirate it, but then the amount of suction created was not adequate, and the needle also was small. So now what I am doing is I am using a 24 gauge needle. I bend it up and just enter into the center of the anterior capsule and then aspirate it, so it is decompressed, and then I begin with my rexis after decompressing it. This is another case. I was doing the rexis, and see, because of visco escape, the rexis is extended, and I am still trying to struggle. Can you reset the timer, please? So the rexis was started. I was thinking it is going to escape. So you have to, whenever you feel that the AC is shallow, you go on reforming the anterior chamber. Be slow in your process, in your capsule rexis stage, because this is a very important crucial step. Your rexis gets extended, then you will end up in problem. So what are the different ways to avoid it? One was to decrease the interlenticular pressure, which I told you, that can be done by aspiration. You can also try anterior yak capsulotomy, or you can do a small rexis, emulsify the cataract, inject the IOL, and then you can extend the rexis to the desired size and shape. How do we do it? That you use a micro Vannas or a normal Vannas scissor, you give a tangential cut, and once you give a tangential cut, you take the flap with the help of a rexis forceps, and then refashion your whole rexis to your desired size and shape. So that is the best technique for handling intumescent cataract. Always do a small rexis, emulsify the cataract, and then refashion the rexis after putting the IOL. Sometimes what happens is, when you are starting with the rexis, this like in this case, you start with your rexis, it starts in a circular fashion, but later on, as any visco is escaping, or if there is a high interlenticular pressure, usually this interlenticular pressure is high in the mid periphery. So that is the part where you want the anterior capsule to be flattened. So what happens is, when the rexis is extending, you have a tendency to rip it or pull it towards the center. When you do that, you will end up in having a heart-shaped cataract, heart-shaped capsular rexis. So this is another way. If you feel that the rexis is extended, you rip it towards the center, but that should not be right from the beginning, but should be done only at the, while you are approaching the end stage of the rexis. So again, you emulsify the cataract, inject the IOL, and then this heart shape you can convert into a circular shape. Another pattern is onion ring pattern. These are various patterns of doing the rexis. See, the most important thing is the decompression, which I was talking y'all. The decompression you can do with the needle aspiration or with an anterior yak capsulotomy also. Nowadays I have a series of about 300 odd cases wherein I use a single shot of 1.2 millijoule of anterior yak laser onto the anterior capsule, and once you give the shot, the whole liquefied cortex comes out and into the anterior chamber. You shift the patient immediately to the OR and then continue with your rexis. So when you start with the rexis there, start with your case there, your capsule is already decompressed, so you have a flat capsule. Now coming to this video, what I was showing you about the onion ring pattern, basically it is like snail pattern rexis, the onion ring pattern rexis. You start with the small rexis. In intumescent cataract, small rexis always gives us a better control than going with the normal size of rexis. So once you start with a small rexis and you begin the rexis, when you reach the starting point, you go beyond that and like you just peel off the capsule as if you are peeling the skin of the onion. So these are the various tips which I wanted to discuss to avoid the Argentinian flag sign, and how we can, if it occurs, how do we manage it, and what are the steps taken which can avoid this Argentinian flag sign. So two things which I would like to pay more stress is, always decompress the intraventricular pressure. Can be a needle aspiration. Anti-react cap, there is a phobia among all the surgeons that the rexis might get extended, but trust me, I have a series of 300 cases. You just take the patient on the slit lamp, give a single shot of 1.2 millijoules
Lights, please.
at the center of the anterior capsule. Once you give the one shot, there's a stellate opening in the center. A star pattern kind of opening is there, and you can see the fluid gush escaping slowly. Immediately shift the patient to the OR and start your case. Only thing is, when you start your case, you will see that loose milky cortex, whatever is there, it is there on the behind the cornea. It is obstructing your pupillary view. So you make the side port, wash off that whatever loose milky fluid has come out, and then stain the capsule and continue. You will get the nice stellate pattern. You can just with the help of a capsulotomy needle raise one of this stellate petal and make a nice flap and start with your rexis. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amit, for